Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle has always been seen as a light in the Catholic Church. But now the world watches in awe as the Papal Conclave reveals what many suspected deep in their hearts. Cardinal Tagle is set to become Pope Louis XIII. This moment, full of deep meaning and emotion, marks a new chapter not only in the Church's long history, but in the hearts of believers everywhere. The Conclave's decision has stirred a wave of hope, love and renewal across the globe. This news didn't come out of nowhere. Cardinal Tagle's journey has been filled with moments of compassion, faith and leadership. Born in the Philippines, he rose from humble beginnings to become Archbishop of Manila, where he served his people with deep humility and courage. He wasn't just a leader, he was a man of the people, walking in the streets, visiting the poor, comforting the lonely, and listening to the cries of those society forgot. From early on, his actions spoke louder than any title. While others gave speeches, he gave his time. While others sat in golden chairs, he knelt on muddy ground to pray with villagers. His leadership in Manila brought a wave of love and hope to a nation often burdened with poverty and corruption. But Cardinal Tagle did not look away from the pain. He stepped into it, and in doing so, he reminded the world that faith isn't about power, it's about service. When Pope Francis appointed him as the prefect of the congregation for the evangelization of peoples, it was a clear sign that Tagle was meant for something greater. That role placed him at the center of the Church's mission work, overseeing the spread of the gospel to all corners of the world, and Tagle took that role seriously. He didn't just stay in Rome, he traveled to Africa, to Asia, to Latin America, to tiny islands and large cities. He met people where they were. He didn't speak at them, he spoke with them. His message was always the same: love, unity, compassion and truth. Now as the Conclave selects him to be Pope Louis I, many feel it is not just a decision, it is destiny. In a world torn by war, greed and division, Cardinal Tagle's voice rises like a hymn of healing. His deep commitment to peace, justice, and inclusion has shown the world what modern Catholic leadership can look like. In a recent historic ceremony, long before the white smoke rose above the Sistine Chapel, Tagle already showed the signs of a shepherd. He presided over a massive celebration of faith that drew Catholics from all parts of the world. The atmosphere was electric. Hymns echoed through the air. The faithful prayed in different languages, but with one heart. Tagle's voice, calm yet powerful, reminded everyone that no matter where we come from, we are all part of one spiritual family. What made that gathering special wasn't just the numbers, it was the message. Cardinal Tagle didn't preach at the crowd. He spoke from the heart. He reminded them of the Eucharist's true meaning, not just bread and wine, but a sacred meeting with Christ himself. He said the Eucharist isn't a routine. It's not just tradition. It's where the soul drinks the love of God. It is food for our journey, healing for our pain and strength for our mission in this world. He called on everyone present to approach the altar with awe and gratitude, to recognize the mystery of God's presence, and to allow the grace of the sacrament to change their lives. His words weren't just poetic, they were real. They carried weight. They stirred something in the hearts of the people who listened, and many wept as they realized how far they had drifted from the core of their faith. But what truly sets Cardinal Tagle apart is his humility. Even as he becomes the center of global attention, he remains grounded. He walks with the same gentle spirit he carried through the slums of Manila. He speaks with the same soft tone that comforted grieving mothers and gave hope to struggling farmers. He is not a man seeking power, he is a man called to serve. His connection with Pope Francis runs deep. Both men believe the Church should be open, welcoming and fearless in the face of modern struggles. Both believe in going to the margins, where the sick, the poor and the rejected live. And both believe that the Church is not a museum but a field hospital. Tagle's messages often echo the vision of Pope Francis. It's a vision of love without borders, of mercy without conditions. One of Cardinal Tagle's strongest themes is love without borders. He speaks often about how love must go beyond walls, beyond comfort, beyond religion. Love must go to the forgotten, the voiceless, and the unloved. He challenges Catholics to step out of their pews and into the world, to feed the hungry, to fight for justice, to listen to the broken-hearted. His love doesn't stop at doctrine, it flows through action. That is why his election to the papacy is not just a church event. It is a world event. It speaks to what humanity needs right now. A voice of peace in a time of war, a light in the darkness, a father figure who doesn't judge, but embraces. As Pope Louis I, Cardinal Tagle brings not only his theology, but also his personality. Warm, human, deeply spiritual. He understands that people are tired of distant leaders. He knows that the world is hungry for sincerity, for truth, and for hope that doesn't fade. And this is what he brings. In his first blessing after being announced, as Pope, the crowd was silent as he raised his hand and simply said, "Let us walk together." That was it. No fireworks, no dramatic statements, just a soft invitation. And yet that one sentence captured the heart of his entire ministry. He doesn't want to walk ahead of us or behind us. He wants to walk with us. This moment has stirred powerful emotions across the world. In churches and homes, people are lighting candles, saying prayers, and shedding tears of joy. For many Catholics, this feels like a new dawn, a new hope, a reminder that God never abandons his people. But there is still much to be done. As Pope Louis I, Tagle faces the heavy task of healing a church wounded by scandals, political tensions, and growing distance from the youth. He will have to be bold and gentle, strong and compassionate. He will have to lead with clarity, but also with a listening ear. Yet if anyone is ready, it is him. His past has prepared him. His heart has shaped him, and his faith has sustained him. Now, as the Church begins this new chapter, the message is clear. It's time to embrace the light. Pope Louis XIV calls every believer, not just to admire from afar, but to join in. He reminds us that we each have a role. We are not spectators. We are builders. We are not just the flock. We are part of the shepherding. He calls on us to speak truth in love, to forgive boldly, to serve quietly and to pray deeply, to let our lives become the message, to let our faith become action, and above all, to never forget that Christ walks with us. As this new papacy unfolds, may we walk with Pope Louis I, not as fans but as family, not from a distance but side by side. Let us take his call seriously. Let us live out our faith with fire and tenderness. And let us believe once more in the power of goodness. For this is not just the beginning of a new pope. This is the beginning of a movement, a return to the heart of what it means to believe. Let this new chapter be filled with love, service, truth and courage. And may Pope Louis XIII, with the spirit of Cardinal Tagle still alive in him, lead the Church with the same humble strength that has already touched millions. The Conclave may have chosen him, but in truth, the world already knew. Pope Louis XIII is here, and hope has come with him.